What up? Let's talk about the manual engine control and trimming in a P-51. This is going to be for the Merlin Mustangs. This is a P-51C. This has a Merlin engine, so any Mustang with a Merlin engine you can use this video for. All right, engine on, manual engine controls on. Okay, so since this is a Mustang, our radiators, we want them all the way open, 100%. War Thunder has modeled the Mustang with the Meredith effect the most. Like the whole Meredith effect modeling is all Mustang stuff in the game. It's also modeled on Yaks too. I think that's about it. But you're gonna want to turn your radiators all the way up. All right, mix or prop pitch 90, mixture 70. No turbo, no super. It's a gear-driven supercharger anyway, so you can't manually do it. It automatically does it itself. So single engine propeller plane, it does torque a little bit. Gear up, flaps up. So we are leaning a little bit to the left here. So I'm gonna trim up and then trim myself to the right a little bit. Of course, you're gonna want to set your trim at cruising speed, not at takeoff speeds. You want to do it at cruising speed. That's trim for climbing though, because there is something I want to show you on how you can lose power at altitude. Actually, let's go 80. I'll turn my mixture to 80. I might lose power a little earlier. So yeah, mixture is 80% like it normally used to be in my older videos. The earlier manual engine control and trimming videos was about 80 to 85 mixture. So yeah, we gauges here. We got the manifold pressure. Then we got the RPMs, and of course, if I turn my prop pitch up, RPMs go up. If I turn it down, it goes down. But you want your prop pitch about at 90%, so you don't risk overheating. The cool thing about the Mustang, though, is if you use manual engine controls, you're never gonna overheat, ever. Unless, of course, you're whipping around all the time. Let's try to get to engine power loss altitude, which I believe is around 19 or 20. So it's gonna be a minute. So yeah, we're in a Mustang. Do not turn with this thing. Mustangs are a really good aircraft to boom and zoom with, especially if you have a wingman with you, and also in a Mustang. You get a pair of Mustangs that know what they're doing in a match. You can pretty much control the whole lobby with a handful of Mustangs. If there's not much competition on the other team, of course, you can pretty much control the whole lobby with a handful of Mustangs. I mean, you can pretty much control the whole lobby with a handful of the same aircraft anyway, but halfway there. So yeah, no matter what plane that you're in, you want to climb at about 200 knots. See my climb gauge here? You want to keep that at around the 3,000 area. Right now I'm at 1,000 feet per minute. Is that in feet? Yeah, I think that's in feet. Pretty sure that's feet. Yeah, it's feet. Okay, yeah. So you want to stay around the 3 to 4 area, 1,000 feet mark on the Mustang. Same thing with the P-38 in my later video, if you saw that one. 3 to 4,000 feet a minute in pretty much every plane, and you'll get a good climb rate going. Even if it's bad at climbing, you can still climb pretty well as long as you keep your climb rate set. Obviously, some aircraft are better at climbing than others. Say like 109s, they're really good at climbing. P-38s are good at climbing too. No prop feathering, so we don't have prop feathering control, so we're gonna have to turn our prop pitch to 0 if we want to prop feather. All right, let's keep going here. Mustang's flap usage, you don't really want to use the flaps as much in a Mustang. You can still use combat flaps, but don't use like takeoffs or landings unless you're trying to get somebody to overshoot you. Like if you're trying to get a Focke-Wulf to overshoot, or a 109 or something, like a heavier fighter to overshoot you. Then oh, I think we're starting to lose power. I can see my RPM gauge going up back and forth a bit there. Yep, there we go. So our mixture's at 80. Yep, we just lost power. 16,000 feet. Perfect. So in order to get our power back, let's turn our mixture down to 62. Boom. Power's back. Okay. So on takeoff, you want to set your mixture to about 70%. You don't really need to set it any lower than that unless you're going to be at above 20,000 feet, which most people don't anyway, so. But if you do climb above 20, just at least on the Mustang, I mean, some aircraft are a little different than others. Some aircraft are a little different than others. I'm assuming that it's going to be pretty similar to all the other aircraft. But if you do climb high, just make sure you turn your mixture down. Yeah, flap usage. Don't use flaps in the Mustang. They're not very flappy. You can't really use them to get more dogfighting lift. They act more of an air brake kind of at takeoff configuration more than they do lifting. So just use combats. So like for example, if let's say something's climbing after us, I'm gonna get away. I'm gonna use my combats here. And then maybe take off for like a second, and then put them away. Don't use your takeoffs. So they act more like an air brake. Don't use your takeoffs or your landings. They act more like an air brake. So. Also, one of my favorite things about Mustangs is the dive. You can war emergency power in a dive pretty much all day, and not wing rip. I think your wing rip speed's like 490 or something like that, indicated, or 460. Yeah, there it goes. See my red line? See the red line? We're finally redlining. And that was from about 20,000 feet, so it's really hard to wing rip a Mustang. It really is. All right. So there's the P-51s for you. And remember, this is for the Merlin Mustangs, not the Allisons. I'll go over the Allisons later.